So New Covenant Foundation works with the local indigenous churches of Ethiopia to help come alongside them in partnership. And we actually have a church planner sponsorship program where the American church can come alongside the Ethiopian church and provide the necessary resources so these church planners can focus on what their calling from God is without having to worry about financial support. It's similar to being a pastor in the U.S. You can't really have a full-time job in the U.S. Working at a grocery store or something like that to provide the money for your family and then also be a pastor of a church. The pastors in Ethiopia need the resources to provide for their family so that they can focus on the people within their church and focus on preaching the gospel to the unreached people in their areas. Current statistics show that 99.7% of missions work in the world is being focused on areas where there's already a church. It doesn't really make sense to me. When you've got so many unreached people groups and so many people who have never even heard about Jesus. And in Ethiopia alone, there's 18 million people who are considered unreached. It means that there's not a church nearby that could effectively share the gospel with them. And 18 million people is a lot larger than most nations in Africa. So when you put that into perspective and you think about how many people there are in Ethiopia, you really start to realize this is a strategic nation to focus on. So NCF comes and partners with different denominations in Ethiopia. They select their own evangelists, guys that they've watched grow up in the church, maybe they're deacons, maybe they've been volunteering, and they see the calling upon them in their life, and help them to go through a Bible school training program, a program that'll help equip them and prepare them for the mission that they've been called to. And now our focus is really shifting towards making sure that we're in the areas where there isn't already a church. We're sending these guys into spots where it's clear that the gospel hasn't been preached there. And these are the ones that need the encouragement. These are the ones that really need the backing, the resources from us. When you've got people working in areas where there's not going to be any local support because it might be 70% Muslim or Orthodox or something like that, and they don't have anybody around them to help even give them a job. Some of these areas, they can't even rent a house because they're Christian. Those are the guys we want to come alongside and empower and help them and see the transformation in their communities.